So the Fibroid Buster Kit is comprised of 4 powerful herbal formulas. The foundational formula is called AG7. Right? That one is what is a female reproductive balancer. That balances the female reproductive system, balances the estrogen, the progesterone, and the testosterone in the system, which most women, those are out of whack in their system. It helps to normalize and reduce the amount of time for their menstrual cycle. It helps to start cleaning up the uterus and the fallopian tubes and the eggs and everything to reduce cysts, fibroids, tumors. It is even used for endometriosis, which is blocked fallopian tubes. And I also use it for women who are planning to get pregnant, couple who are getting pregnant, as a pre-cleanse to clean out the womb and make sure everything is clean and in order so that when they do get pregnant, they have a much healthier pregnancy and much better delivery. So it's used for all of those things. It has the AG7 formula, female balancer. It has a formula for abnormal cellular growth called the C1 formula, cancer formula. It has a formula for the blood purification called Freed Ohm. Okay. And then it also has a formula for the colon, kidney, liver, spleen called CKLS. Those 4 formulas are in the Fibroid Buster.
Now, give us some, how many have you sold?
Fibroid Buster Kit, man. Wow. Let's see. Since 20, I would say at least a couple hundred, maybe 300, 400 of these kits. I would have to try to go in the back office to try to find out some information.
And what's your success rate? What out of those? How many success you've had?
I have had many successes. Now, one of them that is properly documented is actually on my YouTube channel. I can send you the video of a lady where we helped to get rid of 5 pounds of fibroids out of her. She did that. She was kind enough to go and sit down in Orlando and do a video with me, a live video, which I uploaded on my YouTube channel.
All right, we're going to get that. We're going to get that. So this is Jamaica Health Box. I'm recording just this little part about the fibroid kit, and I love it. The product initially. Now, you said you shipped this product also to Botswana and internationally. Tell me about that.
Yes, we as a holistic ministry, what I do, I've been reaching out and sharing this information, and I've been, publicized to the world. So we have clients that want these products in their various countries. So we've had clients, for example, in Botswana that ordered the fibroid kit. They loved it so much they placed a second order. So this was a repeat client. We've shipped to Hawaii, places in London, Germany. At one point, I had several repeat clients that was on the military base in Germany. I would ship them their products there, and various islands in the Caribbean. I've shipped products to London on a regular basis, Canada, various parts of Canada, from Vancouver all the way over to Quebec, Ontario. Let's see where else, internationally. I've bought products and displayed products in Anguilla, St. Martin, Jamaica. Because whenever I travel, I try to travel with some products with me locally. So that way, if people are in need right then and there, we can provide health and wellness for them.
What causes fibroids?
Well, okay, great question. Fibroids is the body's reaction to dumping toxins in the system. So think of a fibroid or a cyst or a tumor, just different names based on the size, location, and the density, as a trash bag. Think of it as a living trash bag. So because you're putting wasted toxin products in your body, then the body has to create a trash bag to put these toxins in. Now, melanated women, original women of the planet, due to miseducation and low self-esteem training, feel the need to modify everything from the top of their head to the sole of their feet to meet some type of quote-unquote beauty standard. And therefore, from the perming of the hair to the bleaching of the skin to a lot of this very toxic glue they're using to glue on everything from eyelashes to nails to toxic diet that they're eating, because they feel now that everybody has to have Sarah Bartman type body. All of these create a buildup of tremendous toxins in the body. So that impacts the womb, which is a second brain for a woman. And a lot of toxins are accumulated there, from the toxic tampons to the pads to the feminine deodorant sprays to the douches to all the toxic things they're using to bathe with. All of that affects the body. and therefore the body responds by creating a trash bag known as a fibroid tumor cyst to put all of those toxins in to keep them out of the bloodstream so the person can live long enough to figure out what they're doing is wrong and hopefully make some changes.
Now, this is good. Now, how long you've been in the health business, the herbal health healing business?
Great question. I've been sharing holistic health and wellness from, like you said, from the bush to the top, the big house. For most of my life, I took the ministry to the streets in '87 in Brooklyn, New York. My ministry went big time right across from my building right there at the corner of Nostrand and Sterling Street, sharing right there on the handball courts and everything about how I was raised in the hills of Westmoreland, 70 years, living off the grid, no running water, no indoor plumbing, living off the land, raising every animal, growing every crop, every fruit. So I started sharing that information officially since 1987, summer of '87 in New York City.
So it's been a long time. Now, what I love about your study, you always talk about this one guy you studied. Tell us some of the people you've studied under. What gives you your knowledge? How do you get your knowledge about health?
Okay, great question. My first understudy would be my mother, my father, my grandmothers. I was raised with my grandmother in the hills of Westmoreland, my father's mother, from 7 to 14. These were formative years. And these people that live on the land, did everything from the land. My grandmother never worked for anyone a day in her life. And she could tell you what time of day it was by where the sun was in the sky. And they live on their land and they raise all their crops, their animals, everything. So being in this kind of environment exposed me to natural living, to a lot of herbs, bush, what things were used for. I always sat at the foot of elders, my elder aunts, the elders in the community. And when I say elders, I mean when I was 8 years old, I would run errands for 88-year-old people and sit by their rocking chair on their veranda while they would tell me stories about when they were 8 years old, my age. So that's why I literally sat at the foot of elders all my life. And then I would go out and put into practice what they told me. Then when I came to the U.S., just the mainland of America, I would study people like Dick Gregory. I would study people like Dr. Laela Africa, Iris Latham, the raw food guru that helped to repopularize raw food, vegan food. Dr. George Xavier Love, who is my Blue Dragon Qigong instructor and helped me to teach about movement systems. Dr. Paul Goss, who I have my certification in iridology from. He's the founder of New Body Products. And people like Queen Afua in New York, and so forth. These are some of the people that have, whose knowledge has taken me to the next level. Dr. Kanya Vashon McGee, which is one of my greatest mentors. He's the one that founded the Tree of Life in Harlem in 125th and Lenox in 1969. Folks like Dr. Delbert Blair, founder of the Meta Center out of Chicago, in terms of metaphysics and healing with magnets and kinetic energies and different things like that. So these are some of my, highlights, some of the key people who have influenced me, and the founder of Kangen Water System, Mr. Hishiro out of Japan, dealing with structured water and the power of water in the body. These are some of the people that I would, just highlight briefly that had a major impact in my current study.
Give us some educational background so that people could kind of get to know you a little better. Okay,
excellent. I started off with a school called Mount Hermon All-Age School up in the hills of Westmoreland. At that time, this is a foundational school that teaches you various subjects, and we were immersed in our teaching and wrapped in our culture. I was quote-unquote gifted from birth. I can read the King James Bible at 2 years old out loud, all words pronounced properly. At the age of 4, I skipped an entire grade in school in Jamaica. That's not an easy feat to skip a whole grade in a British school system. And I ended up living in Canada around 5. Certain things weren't in line for me to stay there. So at 6, I ended up back in Jamaica. And ended up back where I would have been if I hadn't skipped, because I was out of the school system for about 9 months. I then progressed to school in Westmoreland, eventually passed common entrance and was slated for Manning's, but ended up in Herbert Morrison Comprehensive Technical High School in Montego Bay, Comfrey. And then after second form, my mom sent for me and brought me to Brooklyn. And I went to a PS school there for a little bit and ended up in Wingate High School, which is where I met you, Rondi, and many others. And then after Wingate, graduating with many honors, including high engineering honors and the highest math SAT score in the school history at that time, and receiving a letter of being a scholar at 18 from the New York State Board of Regents, Albany. I then went to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach, where I studied aerospace engineering as a bachelor, and I got a minor in mathematics also when I graduated. And then I continued while working in the aerospace world, designing aircraft, spacecraft, and so forth, with the other herbal training, the iridology training, with Reiki 1, 2, and 3 certification in Reiki energy, with the Qigong student dragon certification from Dr. Love, and just kept on, adding on different training and modalities to my study. And then others were just self-training, or I would say experience training in raw food. I've been vegan, plant-based for 19 years this past March. 2.5 years of that, I was 100% raw, no cooked food, no fire to anything for 2.5 years. Still went to school, still went to work, designed aircraft and spacecraft on a 100% raw food diet, putting in 55 hours a week in the corporate world. So, and then moving around, working in about 6 or 7 or 8 different states in the U.S. So I've learned how to do things on the fly. And then also, I delivered my second daughter, who will be 5 on the 22nd, at home, just the two of us. So I was given the title midwife, which I changed to mid-husband, having delivered my own child at home, just the two of us, and nurtured her mom so she could breastfeed her for 2.5 years straight. So a lot of experience with women, helping them with fibroids, cysts, tumors, having happy periods, getting rid of all the mood swings, the cramping, and helping couples who are infertile to become fertile so they can get pregnant, and then help them with finding doulas, midwives, and natural birthing modalities as well. So,
because a lot of my friends and family, they want me to find someone to help them with this fibroids thing. I said to them, I got you, but I'm going to first interview the person so they can understand better why I chose you for fibroids and other health professionals for other things, right? The 1AG7, the female balancer, I like how each of these different formulas, who created this formulation, how long it's been around. Tell us something about the different formulation and explain to the woman more how they work. Go ahead.
sure, great question. So these different formulations were created by Dr. Paul Goss, who was an organic chemist, and then the government came and found him and gave him a lab and a staff. And after he realized the great need for holistic health and wellness in our communities, he decided to launch the product officially under the New Body label in 1976. 1976, okay? So as you can see, there's a tremendous longevity in the way these products have been around and how long they've been used by millions around the world. I became, while doing research and looking for natural products to add to my ministry, I came across Dr. Goss's product line, and I waited until I personally met him in person and did my iridology course with him in 2010 to add this to my ministry. And first, I took the products myself. With the cleanse kit, there's certain things that, I wanted to experience because I like to use things and have a personal testimony about a lot of things. And that's when I decided to add New Body to my ministry in 2010. So I've been distributing and assisting many, thousands upon thousands of people since the past 12 years with this product line. Okay, so I can stand behind it 1,000,000%. The AG7 is used to balance out the female reproductive system. Most women are having too much estrogenic items in their diet from the product they're using, the plastics that they're microwaving their food in, from all the estrogen-rich meats and flesh and dairy they're eating, from the sugars, all of these impact the uterus, the female reproductive system, and the nervous system. So the AG7 balances that out. The C1, which is the abnormal cellular growth formula, causes all the abnormal cellular growth that's happening at the cervix, that's happening with the so-called on the uterine lining, that may be happening on fallopian tubes. That helps to reverse that cellular growth so you can start shrinking the fibroids down. The CKLS cleans the colon, the kidney, the liver, the spleen, because if you're toxic and you're eating toxic foods, we know it's impacting the colon, we know it's impacting the kidney, we know it's impacting the liver, and we know it's impacting the spleen. So we have to cleanse those forces to have true detoxification. And then, of course, the life of a thing lives in the blood. So we have a powerful blood formula called Freedom. Freedom. So you can start vibrating at the right frequency of health and a universal constant. And that cleanses the blood, get the sludginess out of the blood, the coagulation, the thickness, and all the impurities that make the blood not flow properly and have foul odor and all that. We cleanse that with the blood purifier. So that is why there are 4 powerful herbal formulas with a tried and proven track record from 1976 till now as part of our healing process.
Thanks so much. Now, this is on fibroids, and I hope that answers some of the questions, but I'm sure when a customer comes to us at JAMAICAHealthBox.com, sign the waiting list, and we will put you in touch. We'll coordinate some kind of communication, and you'll be consulted with Courtney. Courtney, I'm trying to find the best healers out there, and you're one of them. You know, I've traveled far and wide. I've tested different things, and this is why I felt the need to build this system. It's not always one herbalist, you know, and it's not always one way to do things. But what I do, I try to find the best of the best so I could consolidate all this information and allow people to find in one place a very beautiful spiritual energy. I pick and choose products, you know, and your product, the Fiber Buster Kit and the cleanse, I'm going to add to the cleanse package throughout the year. So how do you feel being a part of a team now of healers and not just always by yourself? How do you feel about that?
Well, that is wonderful. I've worked collaboratively with like minds and like spirits throughout my entire career, and it's great to have specific people that I can point to that have been putting in the work, that are diligent, that are from the diaspora, that are sons of the soil, as we say, and daughters of the soil that want to go give back like we have been doing individually, but now doing it more collectively back on the islands. Because as I stated before, every time I would go back to the island of the Caribbean, to Jamaica, I always took products with me. I always worked with the people there and always take my ministry with me all over the globe wherever I go. So it's good to be a part of a team of like-minded people who are serious about holistic health and wellness.
Now, I took your cleanse. Your cleanse was one of the first cleanse I took in Jamaica in the mountains. I was camping out, and I loved it so much, but there was an explosive nature to your cleanse, which I loved, because tell us about now the cleanse, the holistic 7-day, 21, it's a 7 to 21 day cleanse. Tell us about that cleanse. Let's shift gears from the fibroid. Talk to me about the cleanse.
Wonderful. Great segue. The cleansing, you're right. It is explosive, meaning it's going to have a tremendous impact on anyone who embarks on this journey of holistic health and wellness. The kit is labeled as a 7 to 21 day because some people may do a 7-day cleanse and may have to take a break, a day off or 2, depending on what's going on in their life, and then do another 7 days, and then finally the third 7 days. So you have enough products in the kit to go full through all the way past 21 days. Why? Because 21 days is a sacred number. Trinity times 7 gives you 21, and it takes 21 days to break or create a habit. So what we'd like people to do is to see themselves being initiated into a positive lifestyle, and they're using the cleanse as a way to establish a brand new positive habits and to remove previous older negative habits. So that's why it's even the amount of herbs that we give you is divinely designed. Now, the cleanse kit starts off with the CKLS formula. That's the colon, kidney, liver, spleen, which is the foundational systems that need to be detoxified in order to fully experience cleansing on any level. The life of a thing exists in the blood and also in the colon. So the things that are compacted, that are still clogged up in your colon from things you ate 7 years ago and 8 years ago and 9 years ago that you may not know is still in your body, that's creating a perfect environment for worms and parasites and bacteria and fungus. We focus on getting that out of your system. We then have a formula called Worms Be Gone that specifies all the worms and parasites. Olive oil, which is in our kit, and that is for prepping the entire 33 feet of your intestinal tract from your mouth to your anus, and that is done only on day one. And the kit comes with specific instructions on what to do from day one all the way through to the end. On access to the back office, my company, so we can go in and actually place the orders. And then once the orders, labels are created, then a tracking number is created soon after that can be sent out to the clients and so forth. And then everything is shipped out throughout the world.
How quick can you, let's say, in maximum, our best practices, we try to see if we could get a tracking number within 3 days. You could provide 3-day tracking number maximum?
Most of the time, yes. Most of the time, we can get that done within 3 days. And if there's any delay, then we would make sure we notify the customer of that. But typically, you place an order with us. Once we process that order, within 3 days, you can usually get a tracking number for that. Unless the order may be placed on late on a Saturday night. The warehouse is closed on Sunday, so we can't count Sundays. But if you place an order late Saturday night, by Wednesday, you should have a tracking. I have certain modalities that I deal with other folks as well. So I've collaborated with various modalities of holistic healers and people who are light workers, as we call them on the planet. As you know, I always say I bring peace, love, and light. So, and the level of peace and the level of love will determine how light I respond or what kind of light you get. So this is very in alignment with what I already do on many levels. As a Minister of Health and Wellness, Culture, and Environmental Studies, I work with people who are dealing with environment, impact on environment, plastics in the ocean, toxins in the streams and river, clear cutting and mining and other things like that. In other culture, in other groups, I'm working with cultural awareness, mental awareness, and historical awareness to rid us of the residues of our mental sickness from what we've been miseducated. And then when it comes to the body and the diet, I have another area where I work with folks who are dealing with energy work, holistic movement, sound system, sound healing as a drummer from birth. I'm one of the drummers in various communities here where I play the djembe and other drums for the dancers that perform for Malcolm X, for Kwanzaa, for Juneteenth, for all these different celebrations. And I look forward to working with you and others in this endeavor with Jamaica Health Box. And also, I would like to update you and the clients that the name that I utilize now is dealing with the ancestral energy of Montego, Jason and Montego. That is also a legal name change. So they'll be knowing me and seeing me on social media or anything regarding that name as well going forward.
All right, respect. But what Jamaica Health Box is going to do is to help our community with people like you, me helping you, and we could get these products to the people.
Thank you once again, Brother Randy, for the wonderful opportunity. We've been on the journey, learning and growing, and this is what we bring to the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding with simple, practical applications for the people, because we've been able to distill it down to the essence of what's needed. And that is what we're offering, and I'm glad to be a part of this journey with you, to continue on this next level, so we can help them get out of their box and get into the unlimited, So blessed to be here. Thanks for all listening in the past, present, and future, because we're the Mystic Man and we move that way. Be blessed and look forward to being of service to you worldwide.
Respect, my brother. Give thanks for coming up. We'll talk later. Respect. Take care.
Yes. Peace, love, and light.
Okay, people, this is Randy Pottinger, Jamaica Health Box. This is huge for us. I've traveled to Africa, Jamaica, I was born in Jamaica, but later on you're going to know something more about me. My interest now is not for you to know about me. My interest now is for you to know about the products that I'm trying to bring you. And we're going to set the system up. We're going to be positive. We're going to be patient. Because what we're trying to do is not just to sell products, to build a village and build family and health in many different ways. So JamaicaHealthBox.com, I want you to sign the waiting list and tell us what your problems are, and we will select the people who are available to talk to you. Until next time, go to JamaicaHealthBox.com, sign the waiting list. Take care of yourself and your family.